working on here. Hello. Test, test, test. Looks like we're here. Let's talk about this in a second. I'm gonna use it for YouTube. Because this is kind of interesting on very interesting news. Okay, we are working. We're cooking. Let's talk about this in a second. I'm gonna use it for... Okay, we are cooking, definitely. Gonna do that later. Let's talk about this. What the frick is up with everybody trying to pull out money, like, from people? Now Aconite is, like, getting up in the searchlight? What the fuck? So now apparently Restoration had plans in doing the same thing Bendico, aka Paul, was doing on farstar Reborn. What's up with this? Apparently their revenue or monthly expenses were up towards 2,500 USD, which makes no sense. Why would you have so much cost? I know why. Because you cost in also development, because you're not that confident in yourself and trying to actually find people who actually want to develop your game. Instead you go out and buy people to do it. That is why you fail. And fail with a lot of expenses on your end. But damn, that's wild. Also, good morning, Dakun. This is so wild to actually get into straight away. Holy shit. But yeah, apparently Resto was on the verge of doing the monthly subscription program for $9.99 a month. A break even will be 312 accounts. So they would need 312 accounts to actually break even with the monthly expenses. And then they try to do a Patreon bundle. This is wild deep down into territory you wouldn't wanna like go. Are they delusional? I actually think it's true, because you gotta also think, like, I've been in the same like thought grade, even though I just sadly shut down SWG Plus, but I did think of like ways to like try and keep up with the server, because I didn't want to really shut it down, and people actually was like wanting to play but for free, because they didn't really have the money and expenses to donate to keep us going around. So I do kind of see where they're going at, but problem is just you can't do this shit, because this shit is making monetary gain on a project that you're not supposed to be making money on. It's supposed to be utmost utter zero of like interest in like gaining anything out of it. This is why like right now it's wild that everything is like going out of the slum right now, of like every project apparently like having even gone so far to actually like mimicking like a strategy down. And apparently this was from a census from their senators coming up with this idea. But it's kind of wild to think about that, that it's like even been trying to put on paper annual capital campaign, $200 minimum one-time donation, tax deductible in US with formal contribution letter. I'm very sure this is not even legal, to be honest, because trying to tax deduct it as a one-time donation, that's wild. When it's not even a donation, when you're kind of like you having a subscription for like a Patreon, technically. Access to monthly developer deep dive, a 30-minute to an hour moderate conversation with the development team. So you could pay $9.99 a month to talk to Aconite. That sounds cool. That sounds cool. Yeah. So why did you run away from Legends, aka Reborn? Oh yeah. Also, why did you take over SWG Source after Iris died and like turn it into a shitfest? I would ask him that. That's wild though. That's wild. Also, I don't know. I'm kind of on the verge of like, kind of calling like this out of like being false in a way, but also it does seem kind of the way that Aconite would go with stuff, because if anyone doesn't know Aconite, he's kind of like that man in the middle. He was on Legends back in 2018 and left because everybody hated him and his views. And he's always have like a weird finger in every like bigger project. And I've always had like weird development ideas and been very like disillusional and whatnot. But yeah, everybody knows who Aconite is and really dislikes him. So it's kind of wild that that this have even been on the table as like a thought of doing that. That's wild. I'm just like reading a little bit through all the stuff here. It's kind of like a similar response to what Farstar got when they did their shit. What is this? As I just told the leadership team, we have $800 in our bank account and we owe AWS 5,000. Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to use AWS as a host. AWS is known as being greedy and using a lot of money per data. So again, a huge reason why I'm glad I own every shit I have. So also why there's like 3 servers laying behind me right now. So I'm kind of glad I own all my stuff, and the only thing I have to deal about is like paying for a freaking website. This is also many of the reasons why it's always been on my mind to kind of like outsource the server to like maybe a US continent server. The problem is just like server prices are so ludicrously expensive, and if you don't have like anything to help you out, yeah, you're kind of screwed. Like people like Resto, yeah, everybody else than Legends who doesn't have enough support to actually keep them afloat. And it kind of surprises me a little bit that Restoration is so bad though on money. I actually thought that people were playing on Restoration a lot and actually caring about that project. I actually legit really thought about it. That there was like a player base, not a player base, but like I don't know. I shared like love for Restoration and CU and whatnot. Let's see, can't we find a statement, or are they not transparent? They are probably not transparent. Yeah, they're probably not transparent at all. Go figure. Yeah, roadmap. X64 client beta. Good freaking luck, Aconite. Trying to do stuff with that. But yeah, that's wild. So maybe the next server going down is gonna be Resto. Who knows? Who knows? Who would actually have thought that restoration would be like a project that's on the verge of like collapse? Who would have thought? Probably everyone, because we all know who Aconite is. Well, I wonder what Beyond. Because if Beyond also kind of has like money issues, and begins like to post like stuff like that, or accidentally leaking stuff like internally, like, damn. Wait, why did I go to the wiki? Forums. There is announcements. I guess he also went like me and kind of went a little bit like silent about like donation statements and whatnot. Because that's what I did when I launched SWG Havilon, was like be really silent and just rely on work I did. So I actually mitigated this when I started SWG Havilon with actually having my own hosting business benefiting the server itself. So I actually didn't get anything out of the hosting business I had, because that was like always like going back, looped back to the server. So the guy who actually had our server paid for the server, technically. So, or yeah, server usage. But yeah, it's wild that this stuff is happening and getting to the light at the moment, where apparently nearly everyone and their old grandma is like asking for money nowadays for trying to come up with a weird thing. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm gonna end the live stream real quick on YouTube, and